Welcome to Israel, Jeff. This has really become annual. You know, what are the things you're relating to this year?
Discovering and finding meaning and realizing that it's not about technology. It really is about people and about how some people are discovering their voice, and by how other people are discovering other people's voices, and amplification is occurring that's creating a reawakening of humanity on one level, a spirituality on another, and an ability to affect change all at the same time. And then people who never realized that they had the power to influence and to do are. And so, you know, I used to think that these platforms were transitory, that something would evolve into something else. What I didn't realize at the time is that we're living through truly what is a social revolution. It's a social revolution as an ism. I mean, we know history says things like communism and fascism and Marxism and capitalism. There are lots of isms. This is the internet-ism, and sort of the unintended consequences of 43 plus years of the internet. What happens when you're living in a world where hundreds of millions of people can discover each other, communicate directly, barriers to entry and in fact gatekeepers slowly go away. What happens when people discover each other and can feel and can connect and can touch and engage, and where generations of people now realize that they're living in a world of 7 billion other people, and where for the first time in our human history every voice matters. And there's a profoundness in terms of where this brings. I believe we're seeing a reawakening of humanity. People are discovering and feeling the Ruach maybe for the very first time, and they understand that they can actually stand up and affect change, not even realizing that's what they're about to do.
You know, you're talking about spirituality, people were very deterred by all these revolutions, saying that the friendship in Facebook will kill real friendship and things like that. Do you feel that as it develops, it's vice versa?
Look, I think that there is a need to have face-to-face interaction with people, but there's an intensity in terms of the connectedness one could feel. And when you can read someone's Facebook status and start to cry as a result of it, or laugh hysterically, or just smile, you realize that through this digital medium, feelings are emanating. And if you ever saw someone on Twitter write something and you cried because of it, maybe it was a loss of someone, maybe it was a frustration, you realize that words are turning to feelings, and those feelings are turning to synapses in your mind, and that if you close your eyes, you start to visualize a world which is not necessarily the one in front of you. When you get to the point where you can start hearing people's voices based on what you read, and believe that when you type something, you're really speaking back, much different place than what you see, and that there's a virtualization, even though we're in the physical. There's still something happening spiritually that is just touching, changing, and connecting many of us. Some people, unfortunately, are kind of numb to it. They don't get it. They feel something, but they don't know why they feel it. And there are other people that actually have this intense ability to not only feel, but sometimes to affect positive change. And so these technologies are helping us accelerate some things, but short-term tactical, yeah, there's probably some negative effects because nothing's perfect. We're always evolving. I would like to believe that there's such a thing as a good failure, that we have good mistakes. We learn, we develop, and we apply. And the only failing, I think, is not to use this stuff. To ignore it, that's the fail. To try it out, see where it goes, see where it takes you, that's the blessing of being alive. I believe that in Israel, but also in America, I've learned to hug. I've learned the power and meaning of a hug a day. I believe that if you hug someone today, it's sharing them the concept to embrace today, to make today matter. And I'm finding more and more people are hugging, more and more people are connecting, and they don't even know why, but they are. And we'll start to see the after effects of what it means to be better connected. And there's nothing in Israel that's different than the States in terms of an ability for people to connect with others. We're all human beings after all. We may have different issues here that are amplified based on the society we live in, but at the end of the day, we're still people, and there's that human energy that drives everything.